What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I am a full-time media seller. So I go around all your thrift stores. I do bulk buys off Craigslist. I got an ad on Nextdoor. Basically, any way I can get media for cheap. I send it into Amazon. They pay me every 2 weeks. And I also do have a little itty-bitty eBay store. So today's video, I haven't done one of these in a while. It's kind of like my opinionated video. And we're going to talk about the two biggest things that new Amazon FBA sellers in general, but you know, this does kind of pertain to selling media as well. The two biggest mistakes you can make starting out selling on Amazon, at least kind of the two that I see, you know, that are always on my mind, like people shouldn't do this right away until, you know, you work out all the kinks and everything. So let's get right on into it. All right, so the two biggest things I think the new Amazon sellers basically can make a huge mistake on deciding to do when they just start out selling on Amazon, whether it's books or anything, but more pertaining to selling media and books. So the first one, I see it all the time. Hey Mike, where can I buy gaylords of books? I want to do bulk books. Okay, so this is like, you know, people don't think things through. Okay, so let me lay it out for you. So I'm gonna sell you a gaylord of books right now, right? No matter where you are, where you're at in your Amazon business, no matter how long you've been doing it, no matter how long you're making it, I'm gonna sell you a gaylord of books right now for $100. We'll say there's 1,000 books in the gaylord. So we all know a good accept rate is basically 10%. So out of those 1,000 books, you're gonna walk away with 100 books that are gonna be a good fit for Amazon. So you're stuck sitting there with another 900 books to figure out what to do with them. Okay, well Mike, I'll use sellback companies. Well, sellback companies ain't gonna take most of them books. So all right, we'll say the sellback company takes another 100 books. So that leaves you with 800 books now. You got to figure out what to do. Sure, you have places like Second and Charles. You can do yard sales, stuff like that. But you have to realize, as you know, as tempting and people make it to seem, oh my God, I made $1 million off a gaylord of books. There is a lot of work and a lot of energy and a lot of planning that needs to happen. You can't just get a gaylord delivered to your house. What are you gonna do? Those books, I promise you, if you got a gaylord delivered to your house today, those books would sit there for weeks and months until you literally paid 1-800-GOT-JUNK to come get rid of it. I understand. We all want all these books, and you know, buying gaylords can be profitable. It can be. But you have to walk before you run. I strongly recommend, if you want to do gaylords of books, start with Craigslist. Start going, you know, start basically what they call baby bulk. Go around, you know, purchase people's personal collections. Understand what it takes to get through a car full of books. You see my back seat here, I got empty boxes. I literally just had to get rid of all the duds from my last online estate sale buy that I had over the weekend. So I don't have a garage. I don't have, you know, any space to store books. We all know I live on the 3rd floor. So how do I do it? I set everything up outside. You got your duds, you got your Amazon, you got your stuff to look up on eBay. Everything else, you got to figure out what to do. So for me, I put them on Second and Charles pile. If it's got a barcode, it goes to Second and Charles, and then the free bin if they don't want it. And then everything else, I just have to donate to basically, you know, the free book bin donations around me. So it sounds fancy and amazing, buying books in bulk, and it can be, you know, that could be your ticket to being a millionaire on Amazon. But I promise you, if you don't iron out the small details, like figuring out what to do with all the books that aren't worth it, you're gonna quit the first month you do it. I guarantee you'll quit. You'll be like, I got all this crap, I don't know what to do with it, it's not worth anything. That's the biggest one, in my opinion, that I see everybody asking, where can I buy gaylords of books? I get emails, I get comments all the time. Where can I get gaylords of books? Well, what are you gonna do with the gaylord of book? So thrift stores sell them. Some thrift stores will sell you a gaylord, and it's funny because some thrift stores will let you scan the gaylord there, leave all the duds behind, and take the profitable ones. This is so silly to me. Why wouldn't you just go in the thrift store, scan the profitable ones, and leave everything else behind? The reason these bulk sellers make money, and make a lot of money, is they find out ways to monetize their duds. That's like the secret to everything. If you can figure out a way to monetize the books that aren't worth anything on Amazon or eBay, then you're going to be winning. But for people just starting, I highly recommend not getting into bulk books, slowly building it up, doing Craigslist buys, getting a feel for what kind of work it takes. You know, you have to realize these books aren't just all sitting there on a shelf nice and neat. A lot of them don't have barcodes, so there's a whole headache that comes with that. And that's the first one I got. Don't do bulk starting off. I know there's videos and there's people with warehouses and all this other stuff. The second one, this is like, I take this one personally, all right? The second one is just spending money on stupid crap when you start, all right? So, how many softwares do you need? How many programs do you need? How many stupid tools and toys do you need for your Amazon business? Okay, so let's look at, we'll go over the necessities, and then we'll look at the stuff everybody else wants to buy. So you need a Bluetooth scanner. You don't need a fancy one like I got. I just figured, you know what, I'll try that out. I seen it in another YouTube video, and I went with that. And that one costs 70 bucks. You can go buy a little cheap scanner for 10 bucks. There's no problem with doing that. It all works the same. It's just what I started out with, and that's, you know, that's what I like the most because I started out with it. So you need a Bluetooth scanner. You need Scout IQ. All right, here everybody's gonna give me crap here, right? Oh, Mike, you got to have the database version of Scout IQ. Okay, I hear you. It's quicker, but it doesn't have the database for CDs or DVDs yet. And it's an extra, you know, 30 bucks a month. So 30 bucks a month when starting out, it's a lot of money. And to this day, when I first started with Scout IQ, I tried the database out during the free trial, whatever. And then I just went to live only. I've been live only Scout IQ user since I had to pay for it. So kind of put that into perspective. Years and years, I've had no issues going out and scanning books in live only mode. So that's like, you don't need the database. It's like an added bonus. Maybe if you're making a whole bunch of money and you know you live out in the middle of nowhere, then maybe the database makes sense, but you don't need it. I promise you, you don't need it. I have never had any issues by not having the database with Scout IQ. So that right there is like, it's an unneeded expense. So we got your scanner, we got your software. You don't need nothing else software wise. Starting out, you don't need nothing else. So what else do you need? All right, equipment. Go a little bit into equipment. So you're gonna need, you know, like your boxes. These are all write-offs. You don't need to go buy every size box under the sun, none of that stuff. You just need your Lowe's 16, 12, 12 boxes, small, not the heavy duty ones because they're like an extra 80 cents a piece, just your normal Lowe's boxes, and that'll cover that. You need tape gun. That'll just make your life a little bit easier. You don't need any fancy printers. Well, Mike, you got a Dymo printer, you hotshot. Well, I didn't buy a Dymo printer. Deb bought it for me for my birthday. I had no intentions on getting it. So it's like, yeah, I got one now, but it's not like, hey, I wanted to get it. And sure, I was making enough money to afford it. But if you don't need it, then you don't need it. So I just want people to get in the mindset of, you don't need all the bells and whistles. You don't need all this fancy stuff. You don't need poly bags in every size. You don't need all this stuff, you know, like make it simple. For years when I first started, I literally used a Canon printer from God knows how long ago. Just your generic run-of-the-mill crappy old printer and my Bluetooth scanner. Well, listing software. You don't need listing software. I basically got my inventory to right around 1,700, give or take, without listing software. I literally listed every single item through Amazon Seller Central app on my phone and had no problems doing it. It took more time, but guess what? I got the money back from not having a listing software. Now, if you get to a point in your business where you have so much to send in every week, we're talking probably over 5 boxes every week, so over 150 items every week, then a listing software makes sense because you're making more money and you're spending a whole lot of time listing everything. So I just wanted to, you know, kind of realign people that are just getting into Amazon or maybe have been for a while. It's kind of like, you know, you see those commercials like, how many subscriptions do you have? What can you save on? We'll look at your account and see what subscriptions we can get rid of. It's almost the same thing now in the reselling like field. Everywhere you look, it's like, We got this software you need, this software you need. For selling media on Amazon and most parts anything, you have the Seller Central app that's gonna give you the same information as most of these apps. So like, get out of the mindset of, oh my God, I need 20 different apps running for my business to be successful. You don't. Keep it simple, keep it plain and easy. That's the best way to live. I mean, that's not even about having a business. That's the best way to live. As few things as possible when it comes to having your business. And sure, there are times where you're gonna need a repricer, but you don't need one just starting out. I will say, hey, wait till you have at least 300 active items, you know? You don't need these things right away. You have to grow your business and invest time and learn how things work before you just jump in and have a repricer. If you never manually repriced your books and you just go buy a repricer, you don't even understand what's going on. You're just putting all your trust into the software and saying, hey, whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. So I'm kind of glad when I started out, there wasn't as much information out there because you had to kind of learn as you go, you know? There wasn't a video covering every single topic out there or every single, you know, headache you're gonna run into. And it kind of, you know, you learn a lot that way because you have to figure it out on your own, you know? I didn't even know listing software was a thing the first year I was doing Amazon. That kind of information wasn't out there. And what happens is I learned how Amazon works, you know, front to back, and I'm good for it. So it's like you learn as you go, and you don't need all this fancy stuff. Save the money, reinvest the money in yourself or your business, and just be smarter about things. And whatever you do, if you start out selling on Amazon books, do not go buy Gaylord of Books as your first thing you do. You're gonna quit. You're gonna quit right away. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, I made $300 on this Gaylord of book, but it took me 5 days to get through. I have a big cardboard Gaylord in my garage or you know, like in my basement, and I don't know what to do now. Start small. Grow the right way, build it up, invest in your business needs as you grow. And I mean, I think that's the most important thing. It's okay to invest in yourself and fancy equipment and software as long as your business needs it. If your business don't need it, I don't care if it's the coolest, shiniest thing on the block. If you don't need it, then you don't need it. Don't buy it, you know, save yourself the money. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. And wait, before we go, the topic of storage units, all right? So on my call, every Sunday we got that if you join the channel. They're like, hey Mike, when you getting a storage unit? This is a perfect example for this video. So I need a storage unit, all right? I live on the 3rd floor, like I said earlier in the video. I need somewhere I can go, drop off all my books from the bulk buy, separate them, have the space to figure out what goes where, and go from there. So everybody's like, hey Mike, when you getting a storage unit? I'm like, when the price is right. So as much as I need it today, I'm not gonna go spend the unnecessary money and pay more for a storage unit if I can just wait for something cheap to pop up at a local, you know, self-storage place and save myself, you know, $60 to $100 a month. So that's kind of my mindset when it comes to this video is storage units. That's where I'm at. I need a storage unit, but I'm not going to get one just to get one and be like, hey, I got one and I'm paying, you know, way too much for it. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more used book videos. Bye-bye.